I worked 3 years for the design director position, only to be passed over for the junior. The general manager parachuted in. She said, "You're getting older. You can't match the younger ones for creativity or energy. It's time you stepped aside." I argued my case. But every major project in this company was delivered under me. Those were resources the company gave you. They don't prove your personal ability. Elise, you know perfectly well that, Toby Henson, it's Ms. Fox to you. Inside this company, I'm not your wife, I'm your superior. I'll thank you to cooperate with the personnel transfer. Rudolph Simmons tried to smooth it over. Ms. Fox, why don't I just let your husband have it? Elise didn't correct the way she'd addressed him. If anything, her tone softened. Company matters aren't a game of pretend. I've already informed HR. It's done. It can't be changed. You just settle into your seat. Whatever you don't understand, I'll teach you. When she turned to me, her voice went bitterly cold. Your projects stay with you. You keep running them, and when they're ready, you submit them to Rudolph for approval, meaning the work was still mine, but Rudolph would pick the fruit. I looked at the face of this woman I'd been married to for 5 years, and worked beside for 8, and I started to laugh. No need. I'm resigning right now. The design director title, and the job of being Elise Fox's husband, I didn't want either of them. When I got back to my desk to write up my resignation letter, "You've been here 8 years. Don't throw away everything you fought so hard for over one fit of temper. You're not some kid fresh out of school. Do I really have to explain this to you?" So she did know everything I had was hard-won, and yet she'd handed the fruit of it to someone else with her own 2 hands. My eyes stung, but my fingers kept typing. "Ms. Fox, it's working hours. Please don't tell your employees how to run their private lives." Her breathing turned heavy. Aware of the eyes drifting our way, she dropped her voice. "Do you have any idea? At your age, if you go out interviewing now, you'll get cut in the first round. Don't be so naive." I pulled the resignation letter out of the printer and signed it without hesitation. "Ms. Fox, will you approve it?" She took it, her face dark. "Toby Henson, are you really going to push this all the way?" "I'm not pushing anything. I just don't want the job anymore. There are projects you still need to wrap up. If you walk out like this, what's Rudolph supposed to do?" That was when it became clear. She didn't want to keep me from leaving. She wanted me to pave the road for her junior first, then go. I opened my email and sent the resignation straight through, copying both Elise and HR. "Can you approve it now? I don't imagine Ms. Fox needs me going down to HR in person to explain that you're holding me up over a personal relationship." I knew how much she hated mixing the personal with the professional, and I never thought there was anything wrong with that. Work was work, private was private. That was the rule we both lived by. It wasn't until Rudolph arrived that I understood. So it turned out some principles weren't unbreakable after all. It just depended on who they were for. He could eat in the cafeteria with her. He could leave his personal things in her office. She could introduce him freely. "This is my junior. Look after him for me." But no one could be allowed to know I was her husband. So I was certain she'd never let me go to HR. The next second, she pressed her lips together, and the words came out clipped, forced through her teeth. "Fine. Don't come crying to me later. I'll handle the follow-up on Rudolph's project myself. Don't kid yourself that this company grinds to a halt without you. You've got 1 month to hand over everything to Director Simmons. After that, I won't stand in your way." She didn't wait for an answer. She just turned and walked back into the general manager's office. The last thing I saw before the door closed was her draping a blanket over Rudolph, asleep on the couch. The stomach really is an emotional organ. No matter how hard I played at not caring, I couldn't ignore the dull ache of it. It didn't stop me from pulling out my phone and typing a message. "Resignation in 1 month. We can discuss the rest of the terms in person."